Welcome to the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage, where rude mechanicals do magic. Hello, I'm Bronze Age, Director of the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage. Today we're at the lamp bench where I'm going to wire up Aladdin's lamp, and so far no genie has appeared. The Aladdin lamp company goes back to the early 1900s, and they always aimed at the upper end of the market. In fact, one of their advertisements claimed that their oil lamps were brighter than electric or gas lamps at the time, which is a pretty bold claim. This is, of course, an electric one, but we can see right here at the top, screw threads around the neck here are left over from the patterns used for the oil lamps. Of course, this has obviously always been electric, because there's no place to put the oil. Now, since the bottom is open like this, there's no place to anchor a long pipe to put through it. So this is going to be a short pipe lamp with just this little stub of a pipe nipple up here in the top. Now, holding this little pipe in place is going to be a problem, since I certainly can't get my hand up in the bottle. So I've made this handy little fixture here that'll hold it for me. This is a piece of pipe with another piece of 1/4-inch steel rod welded to it, and I have grinded flat spots on it so that a 9/16 socket will sit on it. My short pipe, just a piece of pipe nipple with a nut and a cord protector on it, will fit in here. Got a dished washer, and that's some scrap, came from somewhere, but it's very convenient. And a rubber washer, because I don't want to have metal on metal touching the glass. And then Aladdin's lamp just goes right over the top of it like that. Now a check ring, a little bit of blue thread lock. I use that on all threaded fasteners so that when I get this tightened down, I don't have to squeeze it until something breaks. But I also know that it's not going to come loose while someone's changing a light bulb. All I've got to do is just get this nice and snug. I'm compressing that rubber washer in there. Now a saddle, a little more blue goo, and another ring. I don't want to keep this saddle from twisting around, because I'm not going to be dependent on the socket to hold it in place. This is the type of socket I prefer if you're doing lamp rewires. It's got this ring on the bottom that holds the pieces together, and it also has this little screw in the neck so that I can point it any way I want, which is especially important if you've got a decorated lamp where it's got to point towards the front. And with this ring, I know that it's never going to come loose just while someone is changing a light bulb. Now, getting the wire up to the socket is a problem I solve with surgical IV tubing. And I just take the ends of the wires, stick them up in the tubing, which is very spring-in. It will hold it fairly tight. And then I just fish it back up through. There we are. Now every lamp has to have some way of preventing the cord from being yanked loose if someone trips over it in the dark. And the way we do that here is with an underwriter's knot. Without this, these two wires could be pulled out from underneath the screw terminals, and for a steel lamp, if someone went to pick it up, that could be a tragedy. for this particular lamp, if it gets yanked off the table, well, that'll be a tragedy of a different type. The lamp cord itself has, one side has ridges on the insulation and one side is smooth. The socket has one brass colored screw, one silver colored screw. And the smooth wire always goes underneath the brass screw. You wrap it around it clockwise and then tighten it down and make sure that you have your wire going straight down. Now the purpose of this is that this silver screw is attached directly to the shell. The brass screw goes through the switch and into the center terminal. And if you were to walk into a dark room and somehow avoid tripping over the cord, and you reach up into a lamp to turn it on, and there's no bulb in the socket, well, if you touch the shell, you won't get shocked on a properly wired lamp. You would have to actually have the lamp plugged in, the switch turned on, and reach all the way to the inside in order to get shocked. Now, how often that happens in real life, I don't know. But it became some kind of an issue, and somewhere around the 70s, the electrical code was changed to protect people from doing that. At least that's the way we did it in North America. In Europe, the way they did it was by taking all the metal out of the shells and making them completely plastic, except for a few little pieces down deep inside, which were very unlikely to touch. And I get this screwed back up here. And as I said before, Aladdin concentrated on the upper end of the market when it came to lamps. And they even went so far as to patent this particular color of glass and call it Alecite. So you could have yourself a nice Alecite lamp. It's sort of an imitation of ivory. And they even produced this pattern with the philodendron leaves with colors. I've seen quite a few where they have the leaves green and sort of a blue background here. Now, another story told about the Aladdin Lamp Company was that in early 1900s, a couple guys got together and wanted to make a lamp company, and they wanted to name it Aladdin Lamp Company. But they couldn't, because somebody was making bicycle headlamps that were called Aladdin lamps, and that was trademarked. So they went ahead and started the lamp company under their own name. But the bicycle company, they went out of business, the trademark expired, and they snatched it up, which I find a little strange, because how can you trademark something like Aladdin's lamp? Man, it's like trying to trademark Goldilocks and the Three Bears or Little Red Riding Hood or something. But they managed to do it. And so now, this Aladdin lamp is bringing light to the world once again. And this is Bronze Age for the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage. Thank you for watching this video. Appreciate a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Any questions or comments, I happily respond to all. And again, thank you for watching.